Zero down mortgages return. Microsoft cuts more jobs, and inflation hits McDonald's. Today is June 3rd, 2024. This is Current Events on the Foundation. I am Sot L, Seeker of Truth L, Speaker of Truth L. Appreciate you being here. We're just going to try to keep you informed. A lot's going on. Let's jump right into it. As always, please, check out welcome to thefoundation.com. Sign up for the email list if you don't mind. Exclusive notifications with regards to events, giveaways, so on and so forth. Oh, we're going to give away, what are they? They're called Apple Watches? I think it's an Apple Watch. Talk more about that on the show Wednesday. But, if you're not subscribed to the email list, these are things you don't hear about. So enter your email to subscribe. That will be luxurious. We also have the most comprehensive trustee training available. If you know of one that's more comprehensive, I would ask that you, let us know, because we would like to better it. Link in the description if you're interested. Have you ever been interested in setting up your private estate? Specifically with regards to private trusts. Learn how to administer private trusts. I mean, what else can I say? Link in the description if you're interested. Also, if you're looking to start your business, I suggest you do. More layoffs are happening. More layoffs are coming. We have a very, very comprehensive course at your own pace. Same thing with the training. You watch the videos at your own pace. With the course, you go through the course at your own pace. There's no tests, no competitions, no deadlines, anything of the sort. But if you're ready to start your business, we go through everything. Probably, I'm going to be honest, you don't need all the stuff that's in there. Probably just a portion of it, but you'll have it if you need it ever. So link in the description for that. Also, we have the Foundation magazine. It's luxurious. We're finishing up the private section. I'll call it the private section. Really, we were talking about private functions, private foundations, business trusts in comparison and contrasting with regards to LLCs, C Corps, corporations, partnerships, associations, things of that nature. So that's going out. If you are interested, traditional, we have the print edition. We also have the magazine digital edition. Link in the description. It's up to you. You do your dance. Let's jump in these current events, though. Appreciate you. CNN Business, the backbone of America's economy, was just dealt a serious blow. U.S. consumers could be reaching their break point. Consumers are the backbone of the U.S. economy. After dealing with elevated inflation and the highest interest rates in decades, they're starting to rein in their spending. Last month, retail sales were unchanged from March, when spending increased by a downwardly revised 6%, 6 percentage points. The Commerce Department reported April spending missed the 4% increase, 4 percentage point increase. You know what? 0.4% that economists had projected, according to FactSet. The figures are adjusted for seasonal swings, but not inflation. By comparison, a year ago, retail sales surged by 3%, and that was those credit cards. Stripping away auto sales, April retail sales were up by 2%. If you add the auto sales, they're probably down. I'm sure that's why they did that. By sector, the biggest monthly increase in spending was at gas stations, of course, where sales were up 3.1% in April compared to March. That's likely a result of surging gas prices experienced in the previous 2 months. However, they've started to cool in recent weeks. Ooh, you got months of high gas prices, but we're supposed to be excited with regards to cooling gas prices in the last couple of weeks. Spending was also higher at clothing and accessory stores, food and beverage stores, as well as at restaurants and bars. Almost all other sectors saw monthly declines in spending. The biggest decline was online retail sales, which fell by 1.2% last month. That's a significant development given online sales have been a bright spot in prior months. Separately, new inflation figures released Wednesday by the Bureau of Labor Statistics showed some improvement. The nation's annual, we don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that. We know what's happening, right? Because, they'll come back and revise those numbers up, down, probably these numbers as well. Bottom line is the consumers are spending less money. Even high-income Americans are shopping more at discount retailers, CNN Business. After years of above-target inflation, geopolitical chaos, and recession in Europe, the U.S. economy remains resilient. That's not true, but I don't know about you. I'm tired of hearing that. The reason for that is that mostly the American consumer, with spending accounting for about 70% of GDP, gross domestic product. So you see how this could be a concern. But I would say that this is exactly what the Federal Reserve wanted. That's why they raised interest rates, because inflation is high. How do you reduce inflation? People stop buying stuff. Prices come down. Supply and demand is very simple. But does it hurt? It hurts. But recent data shows that Americans are spending less money than they used to. Of course, that's a scary prospect for economists. On Thursday, Bank of America CEO Brian Moynihan said that his customers are slowing down the rate of their purchases. Consumer payments are measured through credit cards, checks, and ATM withdrawals have grown by 3.5% since last year. He said that's down from 10% growth the year before. Quote, both our customer bases that have a lot to do with how the American economy runs are saying, you know what? I'm being careful, slowing things down, end quote. A recent survey by accounting firm KPMG found a similar pattern. While people are still mostly optimistic about their own financial situation, they worry about the direction of the U.S. economy. They found additionally 65% of those surveyed, including nearly 60% of those making $200,000 or more, expect to do more discount shopping this year, while 14% plan to use buy now, pay later services. What does that mean? High income earners are also dealing with this. The economy slowing down. What is a catalytic converter and why do people keep stealing them? CNN Business. I'm sure you know what a catalytic converter is. I'm sure you've seen theft increase around you. If you haven't, this is for the rest of people. Bottom line is they have usually platinum, palladium, or rhodium in them. They have precious metals in them. I don't even know if they mentioned that in this article, but either way, they have precious metals in them. And generally, these guys are getting around 1,000 or more for a catalytic converter, especially depending on like if it's coming off an SUV or something like that. Y'all need to be aware of this. This is happening. If you notice cars riding around, it sounds like they need new mufflers and they need to go get a repair. They got their catalytic converter stolen 9 times out of 10. And that's too bad. That's ultimately too bad. And, stay on the lookout for that because that's happening. Zero down mortgages are making a comeback. Many Americans would love to buy a home, but they don't have tens of thousands of dollars to cover a down payment. That massive roadblock is being removed by a new 0% down mortgage program launched 2 weeks ago by one of the nation's largest mortgage lenders. However, the new program offered by United Wholesale Mortgage is making some experts nervous about how these loans could backfire on homeowners, especially if home prices stop going to the moon. And for some, it's bringing back bad memories of the subprime mortgage meltdown that fueled the 2008 financial crisis. That's what I was thinking. That was my first thought. What does this say to you? I know what it says to me. U.S. money supply is doing something so scarce that it hasn't happened since the Great Depression. A big move in stocks may be forthcoming. Y'all can check that out. It's on the Monthly Fool. I gotta keep it moving. But you hear what's going on. J.P. Morgan Chase CEO warns extraordinary government spending will trigger major economic fallout. You got the government spending, you got the mortgages, you got the commercial bank loans with regards to commercial real estate. You got the consumer slowing down the spending. You got ESPN hosts apologizing for calling. I thought, that's a current event. I don't usually do that, but that was hilarious. ECB to start rate cuts, but sticky inflation clouds path ahead. So this, for me, things are getting, I feel like, regardless if the Federal Reserve cuts rates now or soon or later, these countries, they're going to have to start cutting their rates. They can't keep up with the Federal Reserve. And the reason why is because, regardless of what's happening geopolitically right now in this moment, the Federal Reserve note is the world's reserve currency. It's weird, but it still is. So this to me is signaling that you're going to see, especially Western countries specifically, you're going to see, interest rates begin to lower. And, European central bank, I think they'll go negative interest rates, which is weird and counterintuitive and doesn't make sense, but there's a lot of stuff that's going on that doesn't make sense. U.S. factory activity contracts as orders slide, output weakens. Manufacturing, factories, the Institute for Supply Management's manufacturing gauge fell 0.5 point to 48.7. The weakest in 3 months. Data out Monday showed readings less than 50 indicate contraction. The figure was softer than 49.5 median estimate in Bloomberg survey of economists. That's look, Chicago Business Activity Index weakens to lowest level in 4 years. Business activity. This is, is this due to consumers pulling back? Is this due to other factors? This is the 6th consecutive reading in contraction territory. It is one of the last of the regional manufacturing indices before the key national ISM manufacturing survey for May is released. This is, look, hey, what's worse, California considers charging drivers by the mile. What? Oh, yes. And this is Newsweek. Do your dance. You can do your dance. As I generally say, I could be absolutely crazy. Don't believe a word I say. I could be 100% out of here. Just tripping, 100% tripping. A new tax system that charges drivers based on miles driven instead of fuel consumed is being tested by California, driven by the state's growing number of electric vehicles. What? Didn't see this coming, did you? Oh, of course, of absolute course. The state's gas tax, which has traditionally funded road maintenance and is one of the reasons why California has some of the highest pump prices in the country, is collected every time drivers fill their tanks. But as more Californians switch to electric cars, which is probably has a lot to do with how much gas costs, 1.2 million electric vehicles are already on its roads. Revenue from gas tax is dropping. Whoa. I wonder if they thought about this. Well, maybe they did. I would assume that they did. This is some 4D chess going on, or it's just some Straight buffoonery. Either way, it's effective. The state estimates the trend could blow a $4.4 billion hole in its budget over the next decade. And my alarm is going off. Wow. Well, I'll obviously fix that in post. But let's go ahead. The state estimates the trend could blow a $4.4 billion hole in its budget over the next decade. Who would have thought? Quote, on average, Californians pay about $300 a year in state gas taxes. Ugh, man. EVs have a $100 annual registration fee. That's a $200 million a year loss. What are they going to do to address the gap? Caltrans is seeking volunteers to pilot a mileage tax, which the state believes to be a fairer system than the current gas tax. Of course, it's more fair to the state. The cost of the per mile tax will be about 3 cents per mile. The program offers volunteers up to $400 in incentives to participate. If you participate, you're contributing to the problem. They will receive $100 at the start of the pilot, another $100 at the end, and an additional $200 if they pay all their mileage fees over the 6-month period. So they're going to give you money and you got to pay your mileage fees. Good luck, y'all. Good luck with that. California. Oh, here we go. CNBC. Microsoft confirms layoffs in mixed reality, but will keep selling HoloLens 2 headsets. Of course, they don't need them. They got AI. Microsoft will lay off some employees who work on mixed reality, a spokesperson told CNBC. Although the cuts will affect the department that contributes to the Halo 2 lens, augmented reality headset, Microsoft plans to continue selling the device. The reduction comes a year after the software maker said it would make changes to its hardware lineup as part of a round of layoffs that hit 10,000 employees, including some in mixed reality. In the following months, Microsoft discontinued several keyboard models, causing frustration for some dedicated customers. You're gonna see more layoffs. I apologize. I'm working with a new screen, y'all. So I'm reading off a new screen. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna keep it moving though. Bank of America CEO says U.S. consumers and businesses have turned cautious on spending, which is basically saying, echoing the same sentiment with regards to less buying happening in the economy. However you say, U.S. consumers and businesses alike have turned cautious about spending this year because of elevated inflation and interest rates. I think it'd be more than that. But, you can say what you could say. McDonald's exec says average menu item costs 40% more than in 2019. That's definitely inflation. Definitely. Let me just read these. Joe Erlinger, president of McDonald's USA, said in an open letter the average price of a Big Mac meal is up 27% from 2019. The price of a 10-piece McNugget meal is up 28%. And the price of medium French fries increased 44%. The fast food giant will soon offer a $5 value meal for about a month. They can only do it for a month. This is no one. Oh, by the way, Nissan issues do not drive alert for nearly 84,000 older models with recalled airbags. So you got the 2002 to 2006 Nissan Sentra, the 2002-2004 Nissan Pathfinder, and 2002 to 2003 Infiniti QX4 vehicles that may have Takata airbags that were recalled in 2022. The NHTSA, National Highway Transportation Safety Administration, I don't know, I just guessed, said the agency has confirmed that a defective Takata airbag that exploded killed 27 people and allegedly injured at least 400 others, man. They just be blowing up. Nissan has warned owners of older vehicles to to drop driving cars equipped with recalled, unrepaired Takata airbags, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Did I get it right? I don't remember. The Japanese car makers do not drive alert applies to 83,920 cars. The affected cars include the Nissan Sentra, the Pathfinder, and the QX4, 2002 to 2006. We'll just stick in there. They say 2000, whatever, man. They're exploding. Them things is pretty much, they're explosive. GSK shares tumble 9% after Zantac ruling. Just so y'all know, you mess with that Zantac. I used to see commercials about this stuff. The suit alleges GSK's discounted heartburn drug Zantac caused cancer. The British company said it disagreed with the ruling and would immediately appeal. So there's going to be more than 70,000 lawsuits that are going to go forward against this company. JP Morgan analysts said the potential liability GSK could face is likely higher than $2 to $3 billion figure assumed by the market. Oof. That is all bad if you ask me. And, you got to be careful. These companies, they make products, man. We trust them and we put them on our bodies. And, it's something that should be taken seriously. But, at the end of the day, I trust y'all learned something. Appreciate y'all checking out the current events. Y'all have a great day. Make sure you say 10 things that you're thankful for before you go to sleep tonight and every night. It's very important. And I'll catch y'all tomorrow on current events. Peace, y'all.